box that. And I'm gonna read it out loud. Undefined. Has no run, only rises. Has no run, only rises. An example here. -3 over 0. Notice my y, my change of y is -3, but my change of x, there is no change of x. We can never divide by 0.
Right.
Raymond, Savannah, what are the equitations? Thank you. Cannot divide by 0. For the second one, 0 means constant, no change. So for vertical lines, notice the equation is x equals a constant. For horizontal lines, we have y equals our constant. Which part? Constant, no change. Okay. So these are our notes. Everyone follow me and turn to example number 1. Take 10 more seconds. No one's moving until example 1. You got it, Josh? There's no part. We are now at example 1. We are tracking the board. We're following along together. Example 1 asks us to graph the functions x equals -4 and y equals 8 on the grid provided below. We're going to graph them and label the equations. So very similar to what I do now. Silent hand. Whenever we see x equals, silent hand, what kind of graph will that look like? What kind of line will that form? Silent hands. What I hear people calling out. Silent hands. I see one hand is up. If we're unsure, go back to your notes. Your guided practice, we just did this. I love that we're going back to our notes. X equals -4 is going to form what kind of graph? I'm looking to see more hands before I call on someone. 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands. Everyone's hand should be up if we go back to our notes. Samir, what kind of graph will this line, will this function form? X equals -4. What kind of line?
What is it called? A vertical line?
If you agree, I need to see that we agree. Vertical, horizontal. Okay, vertical. Vertical goes in which direction? Use your fingers. Should see more hands. Up and down. Vertical goes up and down. Good. Only rises. Excellent. Let's annotate the next one. Y equals 8. If x equals is vertical, that means y has to be what?
Horizontal.
Class. Horizontal. That wasn't everybody. Has to be what? Horizontal. So y equals will be horizontal, and that moves in which direction?
Left to right.
Left to right. Beautiful. We're getting more confident. Left to right. So I have to graph these 2 points. I know which direction they're going. X equals -4. I'm going to go to my x-axis, and I'm going to see where I see -4. Draw a dot on -4. And again, I'm moving in which direction? Up and down. So let's go ahead and draw a line going up and down through that point. Let's label that as x equals -4. That's my equation for this graph. Okay. So now I want you guys to take 30 seconds. Knowing that x equals -4, find 3 other y points for that x value. Take 30 seconds, find 3 other y points for that value. When x equals 4, what are some y points for that value? What are some y points for this x equals negative 4 point? So when x equals negative 4, what are some possible y points? Use a point from the graph.
We're not doing the horizontal line, we're doing the vertical line? Mrs. Williams?
Yes, just the vertical line for now.
Oh.
Because you asked for negative 4. So pick, I just need 3. But yes, we give you 3 points. So Dylan, give me a possible y point for when x equals negative 4.
Positive 8.
Good, positive 8. When x equals negative 4, what's another possible point? Go ahead, Raymond. 6. And last one, Ezekiel, when x equals negative 4, what's a positive point for? There's infinite numbers, so give me one. 7. So there are infinite numbers that can fall into this value. Yes, you are correct. I asked for 3. So there are infinite number of choices. Now we're going to do the horizontal line. Y equals 8. So go ahead and draw a dot on y equals 8. Where's 8 on our y? Is it going to be above 0 or below 0? Above. So let's draw a dot at 8. And my line should be going left to right. Horizontal. Good. Once you have that drawn, don't forget to label that y equals 8. How many x values fit for this equation? Infinite again. You could have as many x values here. X could be negative 10, x could be positive 7. Let's find the x and the y intercept for both of these equations. So looking at x equals negative 4, we want to find our intercept. Where does it cross the x? And I'm going to color code it so it's clear. My x equals 4 is going to be the line in blue. Where does this line cross the x? At what order pair? Turn and talk with your elbow partner. Yes, so what is it? What point exactly is it cross the x? It's an order pair, so it should have 2 points. Which one is 0? Where is it from? 0, 0. Okay, so what's that point? Write it down. If you have you and your partner have that point, write it down.
Oh, no.
Is that 0, 0? Where's 0, 0? Show me 0, 0.
Negative 0.
Show me 0, 0 on your graph.
Negative 4 is 0.
Okay, does that where it crosses? What is a blue graph for my pen will cross the x?
Yo, it's hard.
Okay. Should I pass first? Yes. Yeah. So. All right. So let's bring it back in 3. Let's bring it back in 2. And I know we're back when we're tracking the board and the side conversation, well, the turn and talk is over. And we're back at 1. Okay. So for the first question, I asked us to find where does this blue line cross the x. Silent hand, this man was able to talk with their partner, Sean. What is the point across the x? Negative what?
Negative 4 is 0.
Negative 4. When x is negative 4, y is 0. Beautiful. Negative 4 is 0. Okay, so now take 30 seconds, create another table for the y equals 8 equation. When y is 8, give me 3 points, possible points for x. When y is 8, give me 3 possible points for x. And see if you can also find the x intercept.
our table, we should also have the y-intercept written in our table, right, Ms. Georgia?
Yes.
So make sure you got the right. And I don't think Ms. Georgia said this is partner work either.
One of your points should be when you're on your intercept. So you think about where does this line cross the X? What point is that? Where does this line cross the X? Where does this line cross the X? At the origin. Where's the origin? Show me the origin with your finger. That's where it crossed. Did it cross there? Okay, bring it back in 3. Bring it back in 2. And we're back in 1. I'm going to draw my graph here. Y equals 8 is in red. Can somebody give me, side of hand, what is a possible x value when y is 8? Jose, give me one.
6.
Okay, 6. Sean, give me one.
Negative 4.
-4. Nyla, give me one. -5. So what can we assume, Ezekiel, about my x values whenever y is 8?
Like, I was gonna say something else.
Go ahead, what were you going to say?
I want to add on 0.
You want to add on 0? Give me. What is the 0?
X 0 is x0 is equal to y.
Okay, so when x is 0, y is also equal to 8. So what can we summarize about these x values whenever y is 8? Adriana? Can you say it louder for me again? Okay, Chris, can you repeat what Adriana just said? Can you say it louder one more time?
The x values change and the y values do not change.
So Adriana just said which values are changing each time? Your x values are changing each time. What stays the same? Your y. So when you're dealing with the horizontal lines, your y is constant, your x values are always changing. It's the opposite when you're dealing with the vertical lines. Ezekiel gives us a really important point here. This 0, 8, what does that point represent? Let's not confuse the origin with something else, Jariah. Say louder. The y-intercept. How do you know it's the y-intercept? Oh, I hear other voices. That's my fault. My fault. Jariah gave us 1 point. I love it. We hear everybody else. Go ahead, Sean.
It's when y crosses x.
Try again. It's when what? You want some help? Adriana? Be careful. Y is not 0. What value is 0 here?
X.
X is 0. So it's when it crosses the... Which axis is that?
Horizontal.